Dude, you are not going to believe the nightmare I lived through the other day. I mean, I'm still trying to process it, and I've been sitting here staring at my monitor for hours, just terrified that if I blink, I'll be back there. I was just looking for something to do, totally bored out of my mind, and I ended up stumbling into the weirdest, most twisted carnival I've ever seen. I swear on my life, everything I'm about to tell you actually happened, even if it sounds like some low-budget horror movie script that shouldn't exist in reality. It started last Saturday. I was sitting at my desk, aimlessly scrolling through Roblox, trying to find a game that didn't feel like a total grind. I wanted something new, something that would actually keep me hooked, but everything felt repetitive. I got restless, so I decided to head out for a walk to clear my head. I took a shortcut through that massive vacant lot near the old shopping mall. You know the one. It's usually just dirt, piles of gravel, and overgrown weeds. I've walked past that spot 1,000 times, and it's always been empty, but this time, it was different. The air felt heavy, like it was vibrating. In its place, where there should have been nothing, there was this massive, sprawling carnival. It looked like it had been dropped from the sky overnight, but it felt ancient, like it had been rotting there for decades. Neon lights were humming with this weird, buzzing, unstable electricity. The music was blaring, and the air smelled so strongly of burnt popcorn, stale sugar, and something metallic, like old coins and rust, that it actually made me dizzy. I didn't think much of it at first. I figured it was just a pop-up traveling fair that had set up camp in record time. I walked in, and at first, the scale of it was overwhelming. I rode the roller coaster, which was surprisingly high and creaked in a way that sounded like metal screaming. I spent a few bucks trying to knock over some milk bottles, and for a few minutes, I almost forgot that this place felt wrong. I even grabbed a soda from a vendor, but the liquid inside was pitch black and tasted like cold copper. I should have dropped it right there. But as the sun started to sink, casting these long, jagged shadows across the midway, things got off. The vibe shifted completely, like a switch had been flipped in the atmosphere. The people around me, they weren't laughing. They weren't even talking. They were just moving in this slow, rhythmic, robotic line, staring at the ground, looking like they were in a trance. Their movements were jerky, unnatural, like they were being puppeteered by invisible strings. I kept walking, trying to find the exit, but I ended up in the secluded corner of the fairgrounds. There was this one stall that had no lights, no music, and no name, just a faded, splintering wooden sign that read, "The Color Collector." That's when I saw him, the clown. He wasn't like any performer you'd see at a birthday party. He was impossibly tall. His limbs looked too long, like a spider trying to walk on two legs. And he wore a pinstripe suit that seemed to ripple even when there was no wind. His face paint was made of these shifting, iridescent colors, shifting oil-slick purples, sickly greens, and deep, bruised, angry blues. The creepiest part? He was holding a massive bunch of balloons, but they weren't filled with helium. They were heavy, almost pulsing, and if you squinted, you could see little flickers of light inside the rubber, like trapped fireflies, or trapped souls. Every time a balloon bumped into another, it made this wet, thumping sound. It was like they were begging to be let out. I watched, frozen, as a kid walked up to him. The kid pointed at a bright red balloon. The clown didn't say a word. He didn't even look at the kid, just stared through him. He handed it over with a gloved, trembling hand. The second the string touched the kid's fingers, the boy's entire face went blank. His eyes just turned into flat, empty voids, and the smile he'd had a second ago vanished like it had been scrubbed off his face. The clown let out this dry, rattling laugh. It sounded exactly like glass shards grinding together in a jar. It was the most unsettling thing I've ever heard. My blood turned to ice. I realized I needed to leave. Right then, I turned around to sprint, but the path I had just taken was gone. Instead of the way out, I was looking at a wall of carnival tents. I turned, in another tent. I ran in the opposite direction, and there was another one. It was like the layout was physically rearranging itself to keep me inside. I was stuck in a geometry-defying, never-ending loop. I felt like a character in a game that was glitching out, trapped in an area I wasn't supposed to be in. Even the ground felt wrong, like the gravel was shifting beneath my feet to steer me back toward his stall. Then, the clown started moving toward me. He didn't walk, he just glided, hovering maybe 3 inches off the ground, his boots making that clicking, metallic sound. Clink, 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 that seemed to echo from everywhere at once. I dove behind a prize booth, my heart hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird. I watched through a gap in the wood as the clown passed by. Every time he stepped near a game stall, the lights would literally die, sucking the color out of everything until the world looked like a black and white photograph. He was feasting on the energy of the place. He wasn't just a performer, he was a parasite. He stopped right in front of where I was hiding, and for a second, I stopped breathing. I could hear his wet, raspy breathing. He knew I was there. He wasn't looking for me, he was waiting for me to realize that I was already caught. It felt like he was playing a game of cat and mouse, and he was the one holding all the cards. I knew I had to find a gap in the perimeter. I crawled along the back of the booths, smelling that thick, suffocating scent of ozone and rot. Finally, I spotted a narrow passage between two tents, but it was blocked, not by wood or wire, but by a wall of dense, shadowy balloons that were bumping against each other, emitting this this low, thrumming sound. I hesitated. I could feel a pull, like a magnet, trying to drag me into the center of those balloons. I could hear the clown getting closer, humming a lullaby that sounded like it was being played on a broken underwater radio. "One more color for the collection," he whispered. His voice didn't come from his throat. It seemed to come from the ground beneath me, vibrating through my shoes. It was a cold, hollow sound that made my skin crawl. I realized if I didn't move now, I was going to end up like that kid at the stall, a hollow shell. I took a deep breath, wrapped my hoodie tight around my face, and just threw myself at the wall of balloons. It was like running into freezing water, a thick, viscous pressure that fought back. I felt a cold, long-fingered hand graze my shoulder, snagging the fabric of my jacket, trying to pull me back into the dark. I screamed, kicked out into the void, and somehow I burst through. I slammed onto the hard concrete of the parking lot outside. I didn't stop. I scrambled up and sprinted, my lungs burning, my legs feeling like lead. I didn't stop until I hit the streetlights of the main road, where the roar of normal traffic finally drowned out that metallic clicking sound. I was gasping for air, clutching my chest, praying that I wasn't being followed. When I finally reached home, I slammed the front door and locked it. I leaned against the wall, shaking, and looked in the hallway mirror. My red hoodie, the one he grabbed, had a massive, jagged patch on the shoulder that was completely gray, like the color had been drained out of the fabric entirely. The gray wasn't just on the surface. The fabric felt brittle and old, like it had aged 100 years in a single second. I haven't been back near that lot since. I don't even like going near fairs anymore. I just stay in my room, grinding levels of my favorite Roblox games. But sometimes, when it's late and the room is quiet, I swear I hear it, a faint, distant sound of a balloon popping. Just one, and I know somewhere out there, he's still waiting. He's still collecting. The thought of it keeps me awake at night, wondering if that fair's moving from place to place, looking for its next victim. So, listen, if you ever see a carnival pop up in a place that doesn't make sense, a place that isn't on the map, don't be curious. Don't go near it. Just keep driving. Because once you step into his fair, the exit isn't just hard to find. It stops existing. And I'm telling you, I only made it out by the skin of my teeth. Stay away from the balloons, man. Seriously, if you see those colors shifting, run. Don't look at them. Don't talk to the clown. Just get as far away as you possibly can. Because he's always hungry, and he's always looking for a new color to add to his collection. And trust me, you don't want to know what it feels like when he finally catches you. I don't know if I'll ever be able to look at a simple red balloon the same way again. It's just not worth the risk.